The Quran claims that the Torah and the Gospel were revealed by Allah. The Quran repeatedly declares that no one can change Allah's words. The Quran says that Jews and Christians still had the Torah and the Gospel during the time of Muhammad. The Quran tells Jews to judge by the Torah, not by the Quran. The Quran tells Christians to judge by the Gospel, not by the Quran. When Muhammad was having doubts about his revelations, Allah told him in the Quran that he could confirm his revelations by going to the people of the book, Jews and Christians, and making sure that his revelations line up with their revelations. Muslims look at all of this and conclude that when the Quran affirms the inspiration, preservation, and authority of the Torah and the Gospel over and over again like a beating drum, Allah is really trying to tell us that the Torah and the Gospel have been corrupted. Apparently, Muslims are convinced that Allah says the exact opposite of what He means. But Allah isn't the only one who says the opposite of what He means. Muhammad also affirmed the Torah and the Gospel that Jews and Christians had during his time. Let's look at a Sahih narration in Jami' at-Tirmidhi. In Jami' at-Tirmidhi 2653 we read, Jubair bin Nufair narrated from Abu ad-Darda, who said, "We were with the Prophet when he raised his sight to the sky. Then he said, 'This is the time when knowledge is to be taken from the people, until what remains of it shall not amount to anything.' So Ziyad bin Labid al-Ansari said, 'How will it be taken from us while we recite the Quran? By Allah, we recite it, and our women and children recite it.' He, Muhammad, said, 'May you be bereaved of your mother, O Ziyad. I used to consider you among the fuqaha,' those are Islamic jurists, 'of the people of Al-Madinah. The Torah and the Gospel are with the Jews and the Christians, but what do they avail of them?'" Think about what happens here. Muhammad tells his followers that knowledge is going to be taken away from the Muslim community. His companion Ziyad is confused by this. He wants to know how it's possible for knowledge to depart from the Muslim community when they have the Quran and they recite the Quran. Muhammad points to the Jews and Christians and says, they still have the Torah and the Gospel, don't they? Notice that Muhammad's response makes no sense if he thought that the Torah and the Gospel had been corrupted. He only brings up the Torah and the Gospel to show that just because you have reliable scriptures and you teach them and you quote them, this doesn't mean you're on the right track. So Muhammad was clearly convinced that the Torah and the Gospel being read and recited by Jews and Christians in the 7th century were the inspired, preserved, authoritative words of Allah. This means that Muslims who insist that the Torah and the Gospel have been corrupted are contradicting both their God and their Prophet. Welcome to Islam, the religion where you submit to God and your Prophet by believing the opposite of what they say.